This episode was previously recorded in front of an imaginary studio audience.
Time for Fun Knife Friday!
All you knife chatters out there, your old pal Skip the Show coming back at you again from the Volcano Club. It's Fun Knife Friday, and we got a great one to show you today. It's right here, the Rough Rider 626. See that? RR 626. RR. Man, if I'd have been around for Talk Like a Pirate Day, we could have been doing RR all the time. Every time we pulled out a Rough Rider, it'd be Rough Rider RR. Yeah. Where was I? Yeah, it's the medication, folks. What can I tell you? I'm still recovering. I'm not even supposed to be here. When my doctor finds out I'm recording today, I'm dead meat. He's gonna go, what the were you doing on the air again? I told you to stay home. But you know what? You can't keep an old fart down. What can I tell you? Anyway, the RR 626 Smoky Mountain toothpick and a little Rough Rider knife. These things have been around for a long time. Parker used to make these. Jim Parker made them. I think they even dated before him. It's basically a little boot knife. But look at this one here. Now this was originally just a black nylon sheath, but it has been covered in tiger stripe because that looks so much cooler than just plain old boring black. Kind of gives you that feel that, you know, John Rambo had this strapped to his leg when he was fighting over there in Vietnam. Of course, I don't think John Rambo was even in Vietnam. Probably wasn't. But hey, it was a good movie, right? Well, some people thought it was a good movie. Where am I at? Oh yeah, Volcano Club. RR 626. The Smoky Mountain Toothpick by Rough Rider. Now there's a couple different ones out there, but this one's a really cool one because see that brass guard, brass pommel, beautiful stacked leather handle. You got some black and white plastic spacers there, and then you got that blade with the edge there. Smoky Mountain Toothpick. Now, one of the things people always complain about this is, hey, why isn't the edge sharp? Well, you know what? This knife is not designed for cutting steak, it's designed for poking things, and that's really all this is for, is just so you have a nice pokey knife. It's a boot knife. It's really designed for one thing, and that is just lunging it into something. It isn't designed for cutting. Now, a lot of people will go ahead and put an edge on this, but the edge is not going to stay very long because the steel in this is pretty soft. It is really designed so that you can poke into stuff without breaking the blade. That's the whole idea of this knife blade. And it's got a really good pointy tip there. That tip is really pointy. But it's just a really fine looking knife there, don't you think so? Yeah, I guess it would be better if it had a sharpened edge. But also, that's the other thing, if both edges were sharp, this knife would not be able to be shipped to as many places because double-edged knives, you can't carry them everywhere. And this is technically not an edged weapon, but it is definitely a pokey weapon. But I think you'd be really hard-pressed to get this past the cops and say, no, it's not even an edged weapon. Look, it doesn't, you can't cut yourself with it. Yeah, but you sure can poke with it, right? So there you go. Anyway, thought I'd show you that one. I don't know if it's been shown before or not, but it's a cool one. I like it. I like it even better now that it's all tiger striped. Unfortunately, I don't get to keep this one. This one's over there by Tobias, but I've got a feeling that if Jock Muldoon ever sees this, Tobias is going to have a hard time keeping it away from him. And I think even Tobias is afraid of Jock Muldoon, to tell you the truth. Anyway, another knife. Saw this one over there while I was looking at Tobias's workbench, and it's one of them Mexican tourist knives, but this is a smaller one. This is about the size of 9 inches, maybe 8 inches. Look at that nice white smooth bone handle. Look at the shape of that handle too. It's just a gorgeous knife. You got the brass eagle head pommel there, and then you got the brass guard up here, and then the blade there for Oaxaca, Mexico. Oaxaca, Mexico. Yeah, and you can pop your Corona beer cap with there. See that? Got a bottle opener on there. That's what I'm talking about. Nothing like being able to pop your Corona or your Modella or your Dos Equis. You know, back in my old college days, yeah, I had a person saying he's gonna bring this beer to the party. And he's like, yeah, I got this double X beer that I'm gonna bring. We're all like looking at double X. What the heck is he talking about? Double X beer. And then he showed up with Dos Equis. And it's like, you know what? He's right. Dos Equis, double X. Anyway, you can pop your Dos Equis with this one because it's got a bottle opener on there. And anyway, that's a pretty cool knife, I think. And Tobias just picked this one up. I guess he might talk about it some more later. I don't know. But I thought I'd show it real quick because I thought it was cool. But that also brings me to the last part of the show here. Yeah. If you're still sticking around, where's it at? Guess what the Volcano Club finally got in? We got in some new coasters. Look at that. Is that not nice? 3.5-inch beer coasters. Or beer mats, or whatever you want to call them. Drink coasters, beer mat, whatever you want to call them. But we got the new ones in. Yeah, so what I'm going to do, I got this plan. Oh, also got stickers to match. Look at that. See, if you're standing on your head, look at the one over here. If you're right side up, look at the one over here. But we got new stickers in for the Volcano Club, and we got new drink coasters in. Someone out there is going to get these, but this is the trick here. I got this weird idea. And it all came about because I saw this knife over there with Tobias's workbench. And I said, hey, Tobias, how many of those Mexican tourist knives do you have now? And he was like, I got 3 of them. And I was like, you know, do you really need 3 of them? He goes, well, I reckon not. But you're not getting this one because this is my newest one. I was like, but the other 2, they're basically the same, aren't they? And he goes, yeah, they're pretty much the same. I was like, well, why don't you give me one? And he said, all right, I'll give you the one that doesn't look as good, the one that has the blade worn down a bit. And so he gave me this one. This is another one out of Oaxaca, Mexico. If you notice, there's probably supposed to be stuff down here where the bevel is, where the grind goes and everything. But it's all been worn off for some reason. Now this got a horn handle here, you got your eagle pommel and you got your cross guard there. A little bit of a small handle, got a 7-inch blade. The knife overall is 11 inches long with a 7-inch blade. And these are classic Oaxaca tourist grade knives. These were made for the tourists. You know, you go to Mexico and you get one of these knives. And they're basically forged like this. They do have a bit of an edge on them. I guess you could sharpen them up a little bit more, but they're really not designed for cutting or anything. And my thought is, Tobias was nice enough to give this to me, and what I want to do is I wanted to give it to someone out there. But the idea is you're going to have to pay it forward. That's the idea. So this is for one of those YouTubers out there. Somebody, a YouTuber who watches my channel regularly. I know who you are. I know if you watch the channel regularly or not. And if you're willing to decide to pay it forward, I'm willing to send you this knife. But the idea is, if you get this knife and you're not too crazy about it, then you got to pass it on to another YouTuber. But if you like this knife and you want to keep it, or if it just has that sentimental value to it, it's like, well, I got this from Skip. I got it from the world famous Skip DeSheau's Volcano Club. I got me a Oaxaca Mexican trading knife. Then you can keep it as long as you're willing to take a knife out of your collection and give it to somebody else. So that's the idea. Now, preferably you'd give it to another YouTuber so they could take a look at the knife and then they could pass it on to somebody else. But the idea is when you get this knife, you pay it forward by giving another knife or this knife to somebody else. And if you do that, you get the 2 stickers and the 4 beer mats from the Volcano Club just for paying it forward by either keeping this knife and giving another knife away or passing this knife on because maybe it just wasn't the knife you wanted. So if you're a YouTuber out there and you want to do that, if you want to participate, you let me know this week and I will let you know next week who's going to get this knife. So leave a comment below saying, yeah, I would like it, and this is why, and this is how I'm going to pay it forward. And then I will either randomly choose somebody from that group, and I'll know if you're one of the normal people who watch this channel, because I just will, and I'll pass this on to you. You'll get the Oaxaca knife as well as the stickers and beer mats, as long as you're willing to pay it forward to somebody else out there. How's it sound? And next week, we'll know where it's going. Alright? It's been your old pal, Skip DeSheau. Glad to be back, more or less. I will definitely be back next week so I can tell you who's getting this. Unless nobody replies. In case, skip out. See you next week. Alright! There you have it, all you knife chatters. Been your old pal, Skip DeSheau. Another fun Knife Friday in the books. Remember, if your knife's not fun, you're doing it wrong. Skip out.
If your knife's not fun, you're doing it wrong, and skip out are registered trademarks of Skip DeSheau Enterprises. This has been a Cat Production presentation. All rights reserved.